Smoke from bonfires rises over the vast Australian plain. Across the same plain, a girl from the Aboriginal tribe Tumi runs towards the forest. Meanwhile, a small houseboat floats slowly down the wide river. On the ropes hang children's things, and inside is a carefree family. Andy, his wife Kay, and their young daughter Kurosi. They act like an ordinary suburban family, traveling in a houseboat, gaining impressions and seeing beautiful places. But this is only at first glance. Andy notices a balloon floating above the trees. He looks up and sees another family on the shore. Apparently the husband and wife and their 2 children are on a camping trip. Andy greets them, but the head of the family doesn't return the greeting. On the contrary, he shows his gun as if to forbid Andy to dock at the shore. It was evening and Andy and Kay stopped for the night, tying their raft to the driftwood sticking out of the water. Andy fished out a strange-looking first aid kit with a syringe and instructions from the river. They are running low on supplies, so Kay suggests they dock and go to the nearest town to get food. Andy is against it. He can't risk his family to get food. Andy proposes to follow the route and go ashore where a hospital and living people are waiting for them. Meanwhile, Tumi improves her souls by gluing moss and twigs on them, hoping to escape her vigilant mother who may be following in her footsteps. The next day, Andy sees a yacht off the coast, which has fallen over sideways. He gets into a boat and sails to it. The half-submerged yacht is abandoned, but there are plenty of provisions inside, even a bottle of wine. When he hears it, he quickly packs up the food and returns to his houseboat. There he tells Kay about the find. Andy's wife is worried about whether it is safe to sit next to an abandoned yacht. Andy doesn't want to scare her, so he says there's no danger. Kay sends him to take a nap and goes to the boat to get a razor for her husband. He hasn't shaved in days. Kay finds what she's looking for, but she can't escape. A creature hiding in the closet attacks her. Andy woke up to his daughter crying and worried. He saw blood on the floor and then his wife, whose leg was bleeding from a bite. Kay says the creature was a man, one of the zombies that populate the continent. Kay has 48 hours after which she herself will turn into a zombie. The husband and wife decide to leave the houseboat to walk to the hospital, which is on the map. On the way they plan to get transportation, collecting some provisions. Putting Kurosi in a special chair carrier, they go on the road. Moving away from the river, they see the burnt corpses of people, pierced with spears and their heads buried in the ground. As the husband, wife and daughter wander across the plains, Tumi hunts. She catches a hare, throws it into a deep ditch and plugs her ears so she won't hear the animal being eaten. When they get to the freeway, Andy and Kay find a car the right size, fill it up and drive off, almost becoming a snack for one of the zombies. It's been a long time since Kay was bitten. She's pale and sickly looking, but during a stop, she takes it upon herself to change her daughter's diaper. While Andy studies a map in the process, Kay has a seizure. She falls to the ground and a viscous liquid comes out of her mouth. Tumi again carries food to the creature in the hole, but this time she doesn't eat the creature. She runs away. Tumi runs off frightened to find it. On the way, Kay realizes that she has little time to live. She tries to leave her husband and daughter, to kill herself so as not to put them in danger. Andy is unable to leave his wife. He convinces her to keep driving, because there is still hope for salvation. Sitting behind the wheel, Andy is distracted for a second on the road. One of the zombies appears. Scared that it is a living person, Andy tries to drive around him, but he fails to control and crashes into a tree root. Kay is stabbed through the tree. Andy is knocked unconscious by the impact, and when he comes to, his wife is already turned. She bites Andy when he wants to save his daughter. After pulling Rosie out of the car, Andy returns and sticks a special syringe designed to kill zombies into his wife's head. Andy puts on his watch, sets the countdown from 48 hours, puts Rosie in the carrier and sets off. He's only gone a short distance when he meets the zombie who's out on the road. The man wants to kill it, but Tumi appears and protects the zombie. She cuts her palm to attract the undead. It turns out that the zombie is her father. Tumi and her father leave, and Andy moves on. He finds a small abandoned village, but the lights are on, which means someone is still alive. Andy goes into one of the buildings and meets a former teacher. She takes him and his daughter in for the night and tells him about Tumi and her tribesmen. She says they can help Andy. She doesn't have much time left because of her cancer, so she can't leave Rosie with her. Friends, mini pause. Activity on the channel is dropping, so I really need you. Pause this video, put a like and write any comment. This will allow my video to get into YouTube recommendations. Thank you and enjoy your continued viewing. The man sets off again. On the way he finds Vic, a man with a gun. Andy helps him, and Vic takes him back to his place. There's a girl named Lorraine waiting for Vic. Andy decides they're husband and wife. Vic offers to leave Rosie with Lorraine and takes Andy with him. He leads him to the cage where Toomey is sitting. There are zombies crowded around the cage. Vic kills them and then searches them for valuables. Vic explains to Andy that while the apocalypse is going on in the world, he is collecting trinkets and controlling gas wells in the hope that when the zombies are gone, they will have the resources to rule the world. After the cage with Toomey, they go to another cage. In it sits a man from Toomey's tribe. She calls him the Sage. There Vic also kills the zombies and takes their belongings. Andy realizes that he doesn't have long left. At night he gets up, kisses his daughter and goes away from Vic's place to kill himself. But Lorraine won't let him. She has Rosie and is going to run away. The girl tells Andy that Vic worked with her husband and that he left him at the factory to die. Lorraine wants to get rid of Vic and run away from him. She says she will take care of Rosie if Andy will help her. Vic catches them in the act and then knocks Andy out. Andy wakes up and realizes he is chained to Toomey. Now the two of them are in a cage with zombies slowly walking towards them. Andy finds a way out. He distracts the zombies and he and Toomey escape. Toomey wants to free the wise man and Andy wants his daughter back. The two sneak into Vic's house and steal Rosie and wake up Lorraine. The four of them run away, but Vic catches up with them. He wants to shoot Andy. Lorraine gets in the line of fire and Vic kills the girl. Toomey and Andy escape. They find the cage where the wise man used to sit, but he is no longer there. The next day Toomey finds her father. He was killed by her tribe. In desperation, Toomey chases Andy and Rosie away. But when she hears the girl crying, she catches up with them and decides to help. The three of them come to the river where Andy's boat is moored. He wants to find the family he saw on the shore a few days ago. He plans to give Rosie to them before he turns into a zombie, but the family is not there. Andy goes to look for them. In the woods, he sees a man digging a grave while his children and wife play. The man has also been bitten by zombies, and to spare the family from a horrible fate, he wants to shoot them and then shoot himself. He offers Andy to take the gun afterward, as it will have 2 rounds left in it for Andy and his daughter. Andy refuses and leaves, but he hears gunshots. The man then catches up with him and shoots himself in the head. Andy takes the man's gun. Toomey smears her face and Rosie's face with a special compound that makes the zombies not smell them. Then she offers to go to where her family is hiding. All they have to do is go over a bridge and then through a tunnel. They set off. There are dozens of zombies hiding in the tunnel, but they are not hurting people. They are hibernating. At the exit, Andy sees Vic's truck and himself waiting for the travelers. Vic notices Andy and Toomey. He hits the girl and she hits her head on the rail. A fight ensues and Andy tries to shoot him, but only wounds him with his gun. He himself is also wounded. Vic manages to take Rosie for himself, but Andy convinces him to give the girl and let them go. Vic, after much hesitation, agrees. Andy can barely walk, but he also helps Toomey to walk. The girl is weakened and can hardly move around. Andy is on the verge. Slime is coming out of his eyes and mouth, but he is determined to get his daughter to safety. Andy notices an unfinished animal carcass by the side of the road. He wants to pounce on it, sinking his teeth into the bleeding flesh, but stops himself. Instead, he takes some of the giblets with him. As they walk, the Toomey tribe slaughters dozens of zombies, then throws them into bonfires and burns them. This is how they cleanse their land of the contagion. Everything around them is shrouded in white smoke. Andy can't cope. He starts to turn. But before he does, he makes Toomey promise that she will carry Rosie to safety. After saying goodbye to his daughter, he thinks of a way for her to get to her family. The Aborigines find them and Toomey says goodbye to Andy and he is killed. The girls are taken to a safe place. Many survivors have gathered there. They are waiting for the land to be cleansed of zombies so they can go back.